Right now, Zito, and to all of your viewers and listeners, right now, as we speak, there are already 80,000 that have enrolled to our website. That is Balik-Probinsya.ph. In the profile, around 60% will be traveling alone and 60% will be traveling with families. And we also notice in our dashboard that the top five provinces are all provinces coming from or going to the Visayas. So
Hmm.
this would mean the Leyte, Samar, Negros, Northern Samar. And the next lower five in the top 10 provinces mostly would comprise the provinces of Mindanao, Zito. So this tells us something that when we got another information from our enrollees, some 80,000 of them right now, most of them have been in Manila as residents of Metro Manila for the last 7 years in the case of Visayas. So that would only tell me or imply to me that this was the event, Tito, that Yolanda hit the Yolanda corridor from B1
Hmm.
Samar all the way to Palawan. That was 2013. And the
Okay.
second five are all victims of of course, the insurgency of Mindanao. So
How sure are you that they're not going to come back again after the next major typhoon in the Visayas or the next outbreak of war in Mindanao?
in terms of being so certain, Zito, in not, for example, being able to hold them when
Yeah.
they go back to the province, I think that is practically where the new program will tell us. Because what we're saying is that the Balik-Probinsya, there is the second term, the Bagong Pag-asa. Because the Balik-Probinsya, as we speak, would literally mean transferring back to the province of your birth and where you're raised or educated, and you found another opportunity in Manila. But once we're able to fully develop and at the same time pour some investments to the regional urban, the rural centers will become an urban centers now as we envision it to become a balanced regional development. I think that kind of development, if people would experience that towards the end, will hold them. Aside from the fact that we from the council also do not adhere to contracts, because there is one model that we're saying that we will tie up and bind our enrollees or beneficiary to a certain contract. We don't feel that the contracts will hold them, but the kind of development that we see 5 years, 7 years, 10 years down the line will be able to hold them naturally, meaning they themselves would take a fundamental option whether to stay or to leave given the circumstances. We have certain packages for individual traveling to the province, and we have a different package as well for families traveling to the province. So
Hmm.
if I may share with that, the employment facilitation support is 5,000, and the capital seed fund, as you mentioned, would be 15,000 for individual traveling
Okay.
to the province. But if these are families traveling to the province, we will be providing up to 35,000 of transportation allowance, another 50,000 for livelihood employment assistance, and another transitory family support of 70,000. The very reason why somehow the original proposal of Balik Provincia relatively made it, relatively succeeded or relatively failed, because we saw one findings that, again, tama yung sinabi mo, I would agree. There was no mechanism at the regional level that will handle the regional project management and monitoring. So it was
Hmm.
a very top-heavy approach by government at the national level by identifying people who would want really to go to the province. But there is no mirror structure at the regional level. Three things I proposed to the council, which I recommended very, very, very loudly, the last recommendation. In the past, it was DSWD only.
Hmm.
Practically, that cannot be possible because this is one big of a huge project really that should be undertaken by the department or by government. Second, it cannot also be handled by the LGUs themselves.
Okay.
Simply because political dynamics also happen from governor and mayors, and the continuity and the sustainability of the program would also end upon the political taste of the local chief executives, both the mayors and the governors. But here is one that I proposed to the council, which all of us agreed. We know for the fact that RDCs are involved in local and regional planning and development. I was proposing very strongly that we will tap RDCs, the regional development councils, the local development councils, the city development councils will be the one responsible in the project management, project monitoring, because this can also mean generation after generation, administration after generation.